On today's tech episode, we're going to be trying to take this wireless controller that I had on my winch, okay, and a little receiver that I had on the trailer, and we're going to use this hopefully to control the trailer brakes on the trailer from outside of the vehicle. So when I put the truck in neutral so it'll pull itself underneath the can, and you get to that point where the wheels on the dumpster either start rolling or they start coming up off the ground, so the truck starts rolling. I want to be able to stop the truck in an emergency situation, and really not even just emergency, but use that to my advantage. We're going to try this out. We're going to use some diodes, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to backfeed power into my brake controller on the truck that's computer controlled. And I don't want to put power in there because I don't know how that's going to affect the truck. So I'm going to protect the truck by using the diode. Close up of that. See how there's a silver band on the top of that? Okay. It's going to allow power to go from here to here, but not back this way. Okay. Some people also use the diode to stop power from moving back to the motor when they use those Harbor Freight wireless winch controllers on their hydraulic pumps. So, and I have also done the same. So let's get at it and see if this works. To really demonstrate how these diodes work, I've got a Milwaukee 20-volt battery here. I've got a little pin sticking out of my ground. Okay, I'm going to hook my test light to that. All right, if it'll stay. All right, looks good. Now I'm going to poke this diode with the silver band up, okay, which is pointing towards the ground. I'm going to poke that in there. Hopefully you can see my light. My light lights up, okay? Now if I point that silver band towards the power supply, it does not, okay? Now I'm not going to go into the anode and cathode and the breakdown region of this diode and all of that, but this basically will stop power from moving one way or another. So if I don't want power to go back to my truck, I am going to point the silver band towards where I don't want power to go. Okay, if I don't want it to go back to the truck, silver band is going to go towards the truck, so all the power comes down, goes down the brake controller circuit and energizes the magnetic brakes. What I don't want to have happen, because that's going to be tied into the trailer receptacle basically, I don't want that to go back the other way towards the truck and potentially fry a computer or a brake controller or something like that. Now what I'm going to use to stick this, and I'll show you where I'm going to stick it, but I wanted to show you this inside because it's, well, 20 degrees out in Maine. I'm going to be using this alien tape. Get it from Home Depot. I use it in my RV all the time. It comes in this big roll. Actually comes in 3 big rolls. It's like a double-sided tape. Nice and clear. This side's sticky, this side isn't. It has a protective film. Just going to measure out the size of piece I want. Just cut that off. So now what I can do is just stick that to the back, and we'll go out to the trailer and I'll show you where I'm going to put that. So what I'm going to do is, this is my distribution box, so I've done a video on this already. Okay, on the inside front cover I'm just going to stick this there with that alien tape. The reason being is I really don't have a lot of room to expand inside of this distribution box. I may actually have to think about doing it different. Okay, I'm going to put that right in there. I'm hoping, oh yeah, see that's solid. What I'm hoping is that that I won't need an external antenna with this inside of that box, but I want it protected from the weather. So all I'm going to do is hook up my powers and my grounds to my fuse block, which I did a video on. And then I'm going to take these two, one is the in and one is the out from the winch remote. I'm going to put diodes in these and I'm going to connect them together. Okay, so they come out as one circuit, but I don't want to backfeed into this receiver because I don't know if that'll damage that. So I'm going to make a little Y that has a diode on each side, so if the power is coming from this one, it won't backfeed here, and vice versa. This way I can use the remote, and it doesn't matter which button I push, it should lock up the brakes. I don't want to be confused about, oh, which button is it, and, you know, my trailer's rolling away. So I want to be able to hit either one of those buttons and stop the trailer. So, let's go back inside where it's warm, and we'll see if we can get that wired up. Alright, so what I got right here, these two wires come from the receiver. So I press the button on the remote, comes out of either one of these. Alright, we're going to try this out, see how it works out. My driveway is pretty level, so I'm going to actually have to put mine in drive to see if it holds it. Turn my remote on. Alright, truck's in drive. Starts driving away, and she holds it. Here I am at the back of the trailer, okay, still holding my button. I can hold either one. I wanted to walk around and see how far I can get away from it. Okay, I would be no further away than this doing any kind of loading. Okay, it locks it up pretty smooth. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not back feeding power to my truck, not back through the brake controller. Now I'm going to get in and make sure my brake controller is holding it the way it should, and that works the way it should. So I'd say that's a success. Sure, I turn my remote off. Now let's talk about the wiring. So here's my distribution box. Put the receiver right here. I've got my white and my yellow going through my two diodes soldered in. Goes to this blue wire. I wanted to keep it blue so I knew that it was part of the brakes. I had to cut the wire that come from the trailer connection. I put a diode right there, so that these two can, so this one cannot backfeed power, and that goes out to the brakes. And get my power right here on this red one. It's got a 10 amp fuse. Picked up my ground here, and that works like a champ. I can use the in or the out button, doesn't matter which one. Keep that in my pocket. My truck starts to roll away on me, and I can go get it. I can stop it. Alright, let me get all of this put back together, and I'll get this video out.